I saw this question the other day, and it was from a sales rep or someone thinking about going in sales, and they were asking, should I get involved in a sales career, and will that help me become more confident and improve my skills? And then it went on to talk about their anxiety and some of the things they suffered from. And I feel that this person, though they're trying to be more confident, though they're trying to have more social life or improve their social skills, I don't think sales is going to be the best thing for them, and I'll explain to you exactly why. Hey everyone, welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist Podcast. I'm your host, Donald Kelly, the Sales Evangelist. And I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today to evangelize the message of effective selling, give you some advice and some tips that can help you to succeed. And especially to my friend who submitted this question, who's asking about gaining confidence. And I say friend because I don't know you exactly personally, but you know what? I want to help as many people as I possibly can. So I want to help answer this question. And I told you guys my answer already, and it may sound harsh, but I'm just being straight up and being for real. My answer is you should not go into sales. And I'm going to explain to you why. 3 reasons why this person should not go into sales. If you're watching this video for the very first time or watching any of my videos for the first time, I ask you to do me a favor. Go ahead and hit subscribe. I would love it. I would appreciate it because we're going to provide you great quality content every single time so you can know what we're doing and know how you can improve on your sales skills. Also, if you're listening to this podcast, if you're listening on Spotify, Stitcher, Google, or Apple Podcasts, I want you to go ahead and hit subscribe as well, and we can notify you whenever we have a new episode, and you'll get a chance to be a part of the cool club, right? Cool. So here's the first thing I want to tell you. I'm going to read the whole statement to you again. This is something that was submitted online. This person said, would sales make me more confident and improve my social skills? He said, I kind of like to talk to people, but I'm pretty shy and suffer from anxiety. Raised eyebrows. If you're listening to this, you can't see it, but my eyebrows are like the rock right now. I'm like, what? Say what? Can't do that, man. That's a big red flag right there. He said, yet it's nothing serious, and I think I can handle it. It doesn't sound too confident to me. I was thinking about trying out a sales career. I've read that it's tough at first, but then you can get used to it, and it's much easier after that. What do you think? Please share your advice and experience. And my answer and experience and my answer and answer, the same thing I said at the very beginning, is no. It's like, heck no, to the no, heck to the no. Sales ain't for you, not today. Won't work. Let me tell you why it won't work for you. And I'm making a general assumption here. If I was meeting with this individual, I'll go a little bit deeper, but I'm just telling you from the surface level, from the things that I've seen, from the question or from the statements and things that are written here. I'm going to break their statement down and share it with you. And the first thing that I'm going to point out is in a subject line. It's in this question, the exact text. It says, will sales make me more confident and improve my social skills? And the answer is no. And I would also ask then, why sales? Why do you feel that sales is that avenue that you want to try to do that? And I would assume that they're going to say because they get a chance to interact with a lot of people. That's a whole nother statement, and I will handle that in point number 2. But the point number 1, the first one here, is the statement is flawed from the very, very get-go because it's all about you. If you look at it again, will sales make me more confident and improve my social skills? You're trying to get your needs met rather than fulfill the needs of the buyer. Rather than helping the buyer solve a problem or help them with the pain that they're having, you're going into this thinking that I want to get something out of it. And if you have that mentality, it's going to seep into everything you do. All the conversations you have, you're going to go to those meetings or have those phone calls because you're trying to get a need met for yourself rather than to clearly solve a problem for your buyer. Individuals like that, in my experience, never have a good time in their sales career because what they'll do, they'll become a people person, a people pleaser. And I've been there where I've tried to please people in my sales career, and what happens is that people pleaser don't like people to get upset at them, so they don't ask the tough questions. They don't ask the challenging questions. They're not a consultant because they want the person to like them at the end of the day, rather than saying, I don't care if you like me or not. There's a problem that you have, and I need to point it out to you. And the problem is, your company is going to fail because you're doing some bad business practices. Does that make sense? A people pleaser may not be willing to say that stuff. They may not be willing to ask the tough questions because they don't want to ruin the relationship, because they're coming back. They want to have the appointment next week, because talking to this person is kind of like therapy. It's kind of a good way for them to connect with other people and to be social. And if they kibosh this, they have to start this all over again with a brand new prospect. And that's not cool. That's not good. So they're going to take this relationship and nurture it and care for it so well and not give them any way to help them. And you're going to be, it's like, you're going to be lackluster. This individual is going to, they're going to, I guess, take or allow certain things to happen, allow the buyer to give them wishy-washy answers or wishy-washy next step, because they just want to keep that relationship. They don't want to ruin anything. So that's the very first thing is, one, you're going into this with the wrong idea because you're trying to solve your own need rather than to help the buyer. And two, tying really close to that first point, is that you're not going to ruffle the feathers because you're afraid of ruining stuff, because you've done such a so much hard work to get the prospect to this point. You don't want to lose this. The second thing that I want to point out is this person said they kind of like talking to people. If you kind of like talking to people, you kind of shouldn't go into sales. And I asked that question at the beginning. Are there other jobs or other opportunities? And there are plenty of other jobs. You can probably find a different type of a part of the sales career. Maybe you can be a sales engineer, because you could probably do the demos. Maybe you could do a client success side of the house. But if you're trying to do business development or to become an account executive, or in most smaller companies where you're doing all of this as a traditional sales rep, it ain't gonna work, man. I just don't see it working at all. I think you'll flush out. 40% of salespeople have mental health challenges, according to my friends over at BombBomb. They had a podcast interview and they had a guest on, and it's one of the things he pointed out. 40%. And you could see with statistics like that, the failure rate in sales, how many people fall out of their effective selling career or don't make it in sales because they, one, don't have the mental capacity. I feel sales has such a huge part of mental that if you come to into this job with lackluster or partial, you're going to get that partial or lackluster result. So you have to enter sales with a strong mindset, a desire to succeed. Otherwise, it ain't going to happen. You got to have the mental fortitude to be able to handle the pressure, because there's so much pressure, it's a lot of mental work. I mean, if you think about it, when you're talking to your prospects and you get this really high one day, and the next day you come back and you find out the deal is not going to work because something totally changed, this is going to affect your pipeline. When you have pressures from management, when you have time deadline, when you have all of these things, they don't help with somebody who is shy and don't like talking to people. They're not going to have a good time. And for those people who are suffering from mental health or any type of anxiety, it's not going to work for that individual, because it's going to be worse for them. Your mental health will probably flare up even more so, and your anxiety is going to become even worse. And you don't want to affect your relationships now outside of work, the ones that you already have, because your career is causing this tension or this problem in your life. So for those reasons, I'm telling you, point number 2, I don't see that sales being successful for this individual. And the third thing that ties back to this idea of not liking to talk to people, it comes down to the brass knuckles, the activities. If a sales rep doesn't like talking to people, what is that sales rep going to do? You got it right. They're going to send a bunch of emails, and they're going to justify why they should just do things such as clean up the CRM. They're going to justify doing administrative tasks, and they're going to send a lot of messages, spam messages, not even good messages, on LinkedIn. They're not going to use the omni-channel approach. They're not going to want to pick up the phone and talk to the prospect. They're not going to want to talk to brand new people. They're not going to want to do hunting. Salespeople already hate prospecting in the first place. Now you have that person who doesn't like talking to people, and they have anxiety. How in the world is that person going to be set up for success? How? And if you're starting off, they're going to put you in a BDR role, a business development role. How in the world do you imagine that individual being able to thrive? I don't see it. I honestly don't. So I don't think sales is the right career. I do feel that maybe different, a traditional B2B sales reps, or a business development sales rep who's on the front line, or an SDR or even an AE, it may not be the right career for you. Or if you're working in a traditional company where you're doing all of that, definitely not. But if it's in an organization where you probably can do client success, or maybe you can take care of some of the sales engineering, doing some demo, maybe that could work. But again, I feel that there are probably other career paths that you can take advantage of that can best help you. And if you're not making those phone calls, if you're not doing the omnichannel approach, if you're not calling into the organization and finding out other champions and doing some research and talking to people, then it's not going to, your pipeline is going to suffer from it. It really will. And you can't just rely on emailing alone to become effective. So for all of those reasons, again, so I start from the top and give you the top three. Again, one, you can't go with a desire just to help yourself, just to get confidence and build social skills. Two, you can't go if you don't like talking to people and you're shy and have anxiety. And three, because you're shy and you have anxiety, it's going to prevent you from picking up the phone and talking to prospect. And you need to prospect all the time. So all of those reasons, I would say sales is probably not the best career for you. You can look for something else, and there are many different other careers out there that can help you to be the most successful. I want you to succeed. That's what it comes down to. I want you to find more of those ideal customers. I want you to know what to say when you reach out to them. I want you to be able to close more deals. But most importantly, I want to challenge you each and every single day to go out and do big things. Thanks so much for watching. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video today. If you enjoyed the content, I ask you to go ahead and hit that like button, that thumbs up in the bottom right-hand corner. Also, to make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. This way, we'll keep you up to date with all the latest sales strategies, latest tools, and things that are going to help you to not only find more prospects, but to close more deals. Thanks so much.